Why were they gathering eggs and this? And they told me they were making a hybrid race.
And for what?
They didn't want. I wanted to know for what, but they never gave an inkling of what it was for, of what this hybrid race would be doing, where it would be, or what. My grandfather died in 1940. So this was in the 1930s when these things were happening with them. She said they would be sitting on the side porch at night and they would see lights over the oil wells, and a lot of times they would see what they thought were little children dressed in white running around the oil wells. And on several times they saw it in the daytime. They would see these little children dressed in white, and once or twice they got up to go see if they could catch the little children and find out who they were, and they would start out, but by the time they would get there, the children would be gone. The main concept was creating a hybrid breed. At least that's what they told me, that they were trying to create a race of people that could live in our atmosphere and in their atmosphere. And they had not yet produced that person. Now, on another occasion, I remembered being shown a baby that really favored my grandson a lot. If you would, give it the slant eyes, they weren't as big as their eyes, but it looked human. And I knew that this was my child. And I wanted to take that child with me, but they said that it would not be able to live in this atmosphere. Well, I know that it was physical, because if I did not get out of that car, where did I get all that dirt that was up to here on me? If I just stepped out of the car and looked up, because we were on pavement. So it's no way that I could have got that much dirt on me just standing outside a car on the street looking. And that's the first thing that let me know that it was real. And beside this knot, which might be, you could say that it could be anything. The bruises are real. Nobody is beating me up in my sleep, because if anybody hit me that hard, I would wake up. And the places where I have the bruises, I couldn't give them to myself. And like I said, if I bumped into something that hard, I would certainly remember it. So it's real to me. It's not really a frightening experience. It's just, it happens, and it doesn't leave you frightened. I think the thing that frightened me the most was that I was not consciously aware of what had happened, and I did not know what to put these ships with. I didn't have anything concrete to say, well, they're coming to do this or that. I just had the frightening feeling. And after I found out what had happened, I was at peace with what had happened, knowing that there's nothing that I can do about it, because I cannot stop them. Nobody can stop them from doing what they want to do. Nobody on this earth, because they are too far advanced mentally and technologically for, we don't have a defense at all.
Like they do magic.
Yeah, they could come in today and take over if that was their desire. But like I said, I don't feel it's their desire to take over through violence, and they don't care about governments. See, government control is not their thing. They want bodies, and they want minds that are going to do what they want the minds to do, but they need the bodies to do whatever it is with. And that's where we come in. Ask them.
Welcome back to the Sweet Pea Diaries. It's your girl Sweet Pea, and it is UAP Wednesday. Okay, it is UAP Wednesday. You guys, let me know if you can hear so we can get this party started. Who we got in the chat? All right, we got these clowns crazy as fook. We got Bougie Barbie, my moderator, Michelle, Digi Danny. Michelle, check your email, girl. Your tracking number should have came through Squarespace. So let me know if you got that, okay? If you didn't get it, I will send it to you. So check your email. Sometimes they send it in the spam. So check that, girl. So, hey, Bougie Barbie. So that means you can hear because she said, hey, Sweet Pea. It's UA. They want bodies. She cracked me up. They want bodies, okay? And you know, government control is not their thing. What y'all think? Do y'all believe this woman? But child, honey, they are back at it again this week on the Congressional with these daggone meetings and things. Honey, they now saying they in the water. Okay, girl. Yep, loud and clear. These clowns crazy as Fook said, I believe they in the waters. My auntie had a crazy alien story from when she was a little girl in Alabama. Wow. Well, we're going to go over a few things tonight. So for UAP Wednesday, I thought that tonight we will talk about a little bit about MK Ultra, okay? For those of you that don't know, MK Ultra was a program, honey, back in the day. We're going to go over that. We're going to cover that. We're going to look at some videos on YouTube. We're also going to go over, just check out some clips about what was going on in the meetings on the Hill this week, okay? So I want to, yes, these clowns are crazy as fook. This is going to be something that we do every Wednesday here on the Sweet Pea Diaries, UAP Wednesday. Yes, ma'am. And you know, it'll get better and better. I'm not really used to doing these lives, and I'm not really used to being, you know, like a reporter. So just bear with me. It'll get better as we go. Digi Denny said, I wouldn't be surprised. Have y'all seen some of the deep sea creatures? Look, shit. Look at the octopus move around. Well, you know that we have not discovered or even investigated or even researched all of our waters. Like, I think they say it's something like 5% of the oceans that we've explored. So why have they not explored more of the oceans? Only 5%. You know, it's like what's down there? You know what I'm saying? Like, why only 5%? So okay, you got it, Michelle? Good. All right, so let me see. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen. This is a different program. This is not StreamYard. So this program is different. And when I share my screen, I'm hoping that the audio plays. If not, I'm going to have to put my phone up to the microphone and play it through there. But we're going to watch this video, okay? So let me see something real quick. All right, so well, first I want to read. Now, it looks like on Lake Huron, they have found some UFO debris. Okay, they saying this is Roswell all over again. Okay, and they're calling it a weather experiment. But the people over there is saying that it is UAP debris. All right. Why it matters. Okay. As reported by NBC Montana nearly A year after a U.S. F-16 shot down an unidentified object over Lake Huron, Canadian officials reveal recovered debris was weather monitoring equipment, an explanation eerily similar to the 1947 Roswell incident that later proved to be a cover story for classified military operations. Like Roswell, where the government initially claimed a flying disc was just a weather balloon, later revealed as a classified Project Mogul spy device, this incident's explanation raises questions about transparency and trust. So the Disclosure Diaries is saying on Twitter, debris finally collected after a 2023 UAP shoot down over Lake Huron, according to new FOIA release. Weeks after search efforts officially ended, wreckage floated ashore and was recovered. Debris has been recovered from the shores of Lake Huron, but after careful analysis, they are saying that it was just weather equipment. But the people over there are saying like this is similar to the Roswell incident. So I guess there was some UFO activity over there in Lake Huron in Canada. And I guess an F-16 shot it down. This was back in 2023. And now, I guess just now, this year, or I guess recently, debris has been found floating in the waters over there. Child, I mean, the water, it's the water for me. But they're saying that, so it says, I guess someone, this is an email from Mark Flynn to Lake Forest DGOA, I don't know, some government email. And it says the subject is regarding a quick question. Hello, Eric. Debris was discovered last week. Reported, I believe, through CAF comms line, and the RCMP now understand there is both material and a module. The module is from a company who sells weather equipment. It will be analyzed to determine if there's anything unusual with it, but I suspect not going or not is from the shoot down is uncertain. Happy to discuss further if you want. So I guess the people are saying that this is similar to, Roswell, and a lot of governments are basically, they have been historically known to be lying about this, about these UAPs, aliens, flying objects in the skies. But we're going to really get deep into this today because I was watching a lot of this on YouTube today, and I was watching an interview on Vlad TV with, one of these guys that runs the Disclosure Project. And he was talking about how a lot of these so-called alien sightings and UAPs, they are actually our government. They are actually Skunk Works. They're actually Lockheed Martin. These flying objects are not aliens at all. Now, some of them, he's saying some of them might be UAPs, but majority of them, what people are seeing, they are the government. These are technologies that the government has been having since the late 30s and 40s, okay? And that they're not aliens at all. He also said, you guys have to go over there and watch this. And I would really love to be able to watch it live with y'all. But Vlad, he don't like nobody looking at his content. He will strike it down. But this man also said, I think his name was Stephen Greer. He also said that, let me make sure. Let me see if that's what his name was. Let me pull this up for y'all. Let me see if I can get it. I believe it was Stephen Greer. Yes, it's this interview right there. this guy right here, Stephen Greer, okay? Now, Stephen Greer, what he is saying that the government, not only do they have these flying objects, that they have reverse engineered these technologies from the UAPs that they've shot down or that have crashed. They reversed engineered these, flying objects, and they have created them in their facilities. So what they see flying, what people see flying, is them testing them out, and they're not UAPs or aliens at all. He also said that the government has some type of creatures that they have engineered, genetically engineered, and they stage these UFO abductions. Okay, that's what he's saying in this interview. Okay, and this right here, this interview with Vlad, that is what he is saying in this interview. He said, it might have not been this particular interview. I think it is the one down beneath it. Okay, let me get it. That's his first interview. But this second interview right here, this one, this is the most recent interview. And in this interview, he talked about how the government has creatures that they created, and they go and stage these abductions because what they want to do. Y'all remember back when Reagan was president, and he said, he was talking about how all of the countries, we're always at war, and we're always arguing amongst each other. And he said he wondered what we would all do if we were all faced with a universal threat of an alien, a threat of some kind. What would we do? Would we all come together? So he's saying, this Stephen Greer person is saying that they stage these abductions, they have these UFO sightings, and they're all fake. They're all, disinformation tactics by the government, because they want to stage this mass alien disclosure type of a thing where it's like aliens are going to invade the planet, and now, we're all forced to come together, and all the countries are forced to do a one world government, a one world, basically just turn everything over to the whole one world, new world order scenario. So what do y'all think about that? Okay, if you catch the replay, let me know what you think about that in the comments. But in the chat right now, what do you guys think about that? Do you think that that is something worth thinking about? Is that true? Do you think that that's just, why would this man go on Vlad and say that? Like, why would he lie? He even talks about how he goes around with, protection with bodyguards and stuff like that, because he's in fear for his life for some of the things that he knows, some of the things that he says publicly, some of the things that he's exposed. In this disclosure project that he has, I think it's a documentary. He also has shown on his documentary footage of him, and so what he does, he takes people out into the desert, and they have I ain't gonna say seances, but they have group sessions where they try to connect with aliens and communicate with them. And apparently he has been successful and communicating with aliens, and they will come and sit amongst these people that he takes out into the desert. And on this Vlad interview, he showed a picture of this so-called alien. Okay. So I don't know. I don't even know, what to think of this. Like, when I do these videos, I'm not saying one way or the other. It is a lot to take in, to be honest with you. But we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about the implications too of, what would it even mean if aliens were to be found? If this were to really be true, what would this really mean for us? If it were to really be true that they have technologies that defy physics, that, are using some type of free energy, what would that mean for electricity, for gas, coal, oil? What would that mean? You know what I'm saying? And so it is dangerous. It is dangerous for this technology to be brought forward. Not even the implications of what it could do, for weapons of mass destruction in other countries' hands, our enemies' hands. Just imagine that. But if we were to have free energy and it would take the place of electricity, gas, oil, do you know how many businesses and how many structures would be put out of business? Like, that is trillions of dollars. So I think this is why it is so dangerous. They're trying to keep it a secret because the powers that be, they have a lot at stake. Okay? Yeah, so we got to think about that. And then we have to think about, do you even want to know? Do you even want? I mean, a lot of people say, like these people, they're saying, Stephen Greer and, Grush and all these people, they're saying that we should know. Why are we hiding this from the American public? The American public should be made aware of what's going on. But do we really believe that that's true? If we were to be made, if this were to be made public and they brought this all to the forefront, if this was really true and all of this was really real, do we really want that? Because it's going to change everything that we know. So y'all got to think about that. Do you really want to change what we have going on? You know what I mean? As a society, as a world, do we really want to know? Think about that. All right, so let me see if I can play. I want to see if I can play this video and see if y'all can hear it. So let me know if y'all hear this.
Congresswoman Lauren Boebert won her new safely Republican seat by only half the margin of her Republican predecessors, but she is already back hard at work in Congress, laser focused on the issue that Coloradans sent her there to address: underwater space aliens. Boebert's on the House Oversight Committee, which is looking for secret government research into aliens and UFOs, which they now also call UAPs, unidentified anomalous phenomena. Today, 4 self-described UAP experts testified to their belief that the Pentagon is hiding proof of aliens visiting Earth. Boebert said, quote, "The American people are being kept in the dark." Her line of questioning was pretty out there.
There are rumors that have come up to the Hill of a secretive project within the Department of Defense involving the manipulation of human genetics with what is described as non-human genetic material, potentially for the enhancement of human capabilities, hybrids. Are any of you familiar with that? Yes or no?
No, ma'am.
I am not, ma'am.
I'm not.
No, ma'am. Non-human hybrids with special capabilities. Boebert was not...
Okay, the volume is low. Yeah, that is because it's not sharing the actual. Yeah, it's hard. Let me see if I can get it to work. Let's see. Give me a minute, you guys. Because this doesn't have audio. Ugh. All right, let me see. Let me see. Give me a moment. Uh, it will make me restart it, and I can't restart it. All right, let me see. So, with the volume being low, could you still hear it though? It might be low, but if you can still hear it, that's all that matters. It might be low, but as long as you can still hear it. All right.
Congresswoman Lauren Boebert won her new safely Republican seat by only half the margin of her Republican predecessors, but she is already back hard at work in Congress, laser focused on the issue that Coloradans sent her there to address: underwater space aliens. Boebert's on the House Oversight Committee, which is looking for secret government research into aliens and UFOs, which they now also call UAPs, unidentified anomalous phenomena. Today, 4 self-described UAP experts testified to their belief that the Pentagon is hiding proof of aliens visiting Earth. Boebert said, quote, "The American people are being kept in the dark." Her line of questioning was pretty out there.
There are rumors that have come up to the Hill of a secretive project within the Department of Defense involving the manipulation of human genetics with what is described as non-human genetic material, potentially for the enhancement of human capabilities, hybrids. Are any of you familiar with that? Yes or no?
No, ma'am. I am not, ma'am.
I'm not.
No, ma'am.
Non-human hybrids with special capabilities. Boebert was not done there. She spent most of her allotted time questioning the experts about alien cities and civilizations in the depths of the sea.
And so are there any accounts of UAPs emerging from or submerging into our water, which could indicate a base or presence beneath the ocean's surface?
I don't know about a base, but as I mentioned, I had a different source entirely describe this pretty extraordinary footage that exists of orbs, of an orb coming out of the ocean and being met by another orb.
And it seems like there's still some questions that we need answers to, and we will not relent until we get those to the American people.
Boebert clearly left the hearing without her answers on aliens, but said that she is looking forward to working with the incoming Trump administration to get to the bottom of this alien hybrid human thing and those underwater alien cities.
The Senate Armed Services Committee heard testimony just a few hours ago from the Pentagon's UFO chief, Dr.
Now, I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. I mean, you guys let me know what you think about it. Now, you hear, yes, C. Miles, I saw the abyss. Now, you hear what the Congresswoman, what she is asking, and that reporter, he's trying to laugh and make fun of it, but they're sitting there testifying that they saw an orb come out of the water and go up in the air and meet another orb. Now, just because they may have saw this. Now, I don't think the people that were testifying, I don't think themselves that they saw it, they themselves that they saw it. I think they're testifying that this is what they heard, that other people say they saw. But my question is, what if it's not aliens? Just because you see something going down in the water, coming out and meeting something in the air, doesn't mean that it's aliens. It could be the government. It could be our military. It could be, something that they created. It does not have to be aliens, right? So she's also asking questions about hybrids, okay? Now, she's saying that this information came up to the Hill, all right? The Hill meaning, the House of Representatives, the Congress, the Hill, all of the government, the people up there on that hill, all right? The people up there on that hill, child, all right? And she said this information has come to them about a hybrid breed, hybrid race that they have been genetically engineering. And they're like, no, they've never heard of it. I don't know if they was trying to fight back from laughing or whatever. But this is serious because she heard that came up on the Hill. I've heard it too. I've seen it on YouTube. I've seen the videos. I've seen people saying that they worked in these facilities on Area 51 and they've seen these creatures and they've seen the government running tests. They also, there's a man that says he's seen that they grow food in, an atmosphere where these aliens and these beings are kept and they're allowed to come and go as they please. So they said that could be the damn spaceships or whatever that you see flying around because they are not kept like hostage or whatever. They're allowed to go and come as they please. It's crazy. Didn't someone on Trump's team say something about transgenderism causing hurricanes or something like that? I don't know, girl. Theories of Everything is another channel that speaks on the... Yes. I've heard about that channel too. These clowns said, my father always called the pale folks aliens. I heard this regularly growing up. He was born in 1954. You do know that the nations of gods and earths, they used to be called 5%ers. They believe this. They believe that if you look at their lessons, it's called the 120. They believe that the Caucasians were made in caves and that there was experiments done. It's similar to what they try to say genetically engineering, like the Anunnaki and how they made a race of people, which are us humans, and that they made the race of people as slaves to mine gold for their planet. Well, the 5%ers believe the same thing, but they believe it about Caucasians, that they were made by Yakub, this man called Yakub, who was a scientist, and he made them by grafting them from the original man, which is the black man, and they are a byproduct of many experiments. And this is why he said, they look deformed and all this. This is what they say. I don't believe that they look deformed, but this is just what they say in their lessons, and that they're the devil, and that, they were grafted and genetically made. That's what the 5%ers believe. So yeah, I mean, every religion has the aspect of genetics, like us coming from another race or another creature or another, just like they say, the Anunnaki, they saw the Neanderthal here on this planet, and they said, well, I know, their people got tired of doing the mining, and they said, well, there's a creature on the planet Earth, and we can use that, and we can genetically make people from that Neanderthal, and we can get these people to do the mining for us, and because our people are tired of doing it. I mean, and then there's other religions that also, have stories about star people and aliens, flying up in flying canoes is like the Indians believe. I mean, it's every race of people have this way back in their lineage. Their ancestors have some type of story about aliens. So I don't know, you guys. I don't know. But as we go and as we, do more of these videos, we'll cover different topics and we'll, a lot of people, this is kind of taboo, this subject, because a lot of people don't believe, and then some people do believe. Some people get offended, so it's really hard to even do this content because I know what I believe, and I know, so I'm just going to do it from what I think. So if people get mad, they just get mad. This is my show. This is my channel. And I'm just going to tackle these subjects coming from my beliefs. Okay. So please, I'm just going to issue a trigger warning, when we do these videos, because this is new territory for me. So if you're joining the channel, if you're new here, this is a new form of content for me. So please bear with me as I get my feet wet, as I get acclimated, because I'm just really not trying to step on anybody's toes and all that, which is why I think I'm kind of like being skittish. So not to turn people off, I'm just going to go for it. What do y'all think about that? I'm just going to be me. I'm just going to say how I feel, and that's just how it's going to be. So I'm going to issue a trigger warning. These beliefs and, my thoughts, this is not represented. My moderators, everybody that's here don't believe what I believe, right? Necessarily. These are my thoughts, my opinions, okay? I don't want to step on anybody's toes. I don't mean to cause any type of, confusion, but this is just what I believe. This is just what I think, okay? Now, personally, I do think that a lot of the UFOs that are, spotted, I do believe that it could potentially be the government. I don't believe that it always has to be some type of UFO or alien. I've never seen an alien. You or I, we've never seen an alien. But there are a lot of people that claim to have been abducted. And like I said, Stephen Greer is saying that these abductions could be the government. It could be this hybrid breed that the congresswoman was talking about. Stephen Greer says they have made a hybrid breed. They have a creature that they use, and they go and they abduct people and make them think that they were abducted by aliens. That all of this is the government. But he does not dismiss that there are aliens. Okay? So he's saying a little bit of both. He's saying there are aliens. Yeah. Bougie Barbie says Sweet Pea is speaking for Sweet Pea and probably me. Bougie Barbie says, I'm not going to play more than one anthropologist has said we can trace every race of people to the earth except white people. Oh, wow. But yes, this is just a video. This is for entertainment. All right. I'm not trying to push my beliefs off on anybody else. I'm not trying to get people to convert to anything. We are just having discussion. This is just lighthearted and fun. Okay. We have a lot going on in this world, and it's really hard out here. Inflation, everything, people, jobs is scarce, and coming to YouTube, we just want to unwind. I don't want to be serious, and it's lighthearted and fun. We are just covering this topic and just talking and shooting around ideas, right? So, like I said, please don't take this the wrong way. I'm telling you, because I be losing subscribers left and right when I do topics like this. But like I said, we are going to do this every Wednesday. For those that enjoy this type of content, come on over, pull on up. If you don't like this kind of content, then this isn't for you. You can watch something else that we have. We got documentaries, other things that you can watch if you don't like UAP Wednesday. But this is going to be every Wednesday at 8 o'clock, 8:30 is what we're going to do here. So yeah, I do believe that some of this could be the government. And, I believe that the aerial phenomena that is being seen, it could be Lockheed Martin. It doesn't have to be aliens. But the problem is, if this type of technology exists to be able to have these, planes or spaceships flying all around, and they're doing these, things that defy what they say normal physics and laws of nature or whatever, then that's something dangerous. You wouldn't want that falling in the wrong hands. We wouldn't want Russia or China, Korea, or we wouldn't want these people having that, right? So we got to remember, when we're on YouTube and we having these hearings and they are broadcasted everywhere, we're not the only people watching it. Russia's watching it. China's watching it. And they're saying, oh, y'all got technology like this? You know what I'm saying? So if we put this stuff out there and we're begging for this to be exposed, what if it falls in the wrong hands? So if you show that you have these type of, flying objects, then Korea, our enemies, they could get their hands on this and create their own as well. So we have to be careful about some of the things that we want revealed. We are in an age where we feel like we got to know everything. Everything should be disclosed. But some of this is national security is at risk, right? Like, that's what our government is supposed to be for, to protect us. That's what our military is for, to protect us. And if everything is known, we're blowing our cover with everything and we're telling our enemies what we're capable of, that's a dangerous situation to put us in. So I think we need to think about that as a society. And do we really need to know these things? Us knowing about the flying objects and us knowing about what's going on down there in the water, if it is a base down there, why do we want to know that or need to know that? I don't need to know that. That's not going to change my grocery bill. That's not going to change me selling my Soul Sister products. That's not. Matter of fact, we got the dandruff oil right here. We got a new, I just made a new batch of tea rinse. This doesn't even have a label on it yet. Okay. We got our shampoo here. This is a new batch of shampoo. And we got a new batch of conditioner. Everything is fresh. No labels on it yet, honey. We got our hair butter. Ooh, smells so good. Smells so good. This is a moringa hair butter. Look, we got some of that moringa and that goodness that fell in the bottom. Honey, get you some today. Going over there to www.soulsisterllc.com and get you some. But that's not going to change anything, okay? Me knowing what is in the water, what's going on down there and up there, is not going to change our everyday. Okay? Pitchforks are coming. Okay, you should read stuff. Oh, okay. Thank you. Honey, you got deleted, honey. You must wasn't saying the right thing, honey. Barbie done shot you down. Child, Barbie done shot you down, honey. Thank you, Barbie. Yeah, because we don't need that. We don't need any of that. This is a lighthearted. We are just shooting things around. We just talking. Okay. This is entertainment. Y'all come over here being so serious, like lighten up. Okay. This is just, for entertainment. Like, why do you guys have to be so serious? Jesus. Listen, they probably being hard on me. You need to research this. You need to do this. Listen, this is my show. This is how I'm doing it. If you don't like it, Fly away like one of them UAPs. Because honey, we ain't doing that. So now, again, I don't know if I want to know, necessarily if I really want to know. Okay? We have children to think about. We have loved ones to think about. Right. We just trading thoughts and having a few giggles. Exactly. Like, we are not sitting here being scholars and being super geeked. I am just I'm a mom. I have a new startup business, my hair care I am just shooting around what is going on out here in, with this UAP conversation. I think it's something to, do content on. I think people want to know about what is going on, but at the same time, I want people to be logically sane about this. Are you sure you want to know? Do you really want to know if there's aliens? Do you really want to know if they're in the waters? Do you want to see one? Like this, you guys got to understand. This is going to change everything, how you do everything. If you know that they're aliens, if aliens come out of our water, if it is made and if it's revealed that there are bases in the oceans, that there's a whole civilization of aliens in the oceans, you think that we're just going to go right back to business as usual? To, la-di-da-di-da. No, it's going to change everything. Also, do you really think that people that have been in control of oil, gas, electricity, utilities, all of these things, do you think those people are going to just turn that over to free energy? That would help us. That would help get rid of bills, It would probably end poverty and a lot of things. Probably would help cure a lot of diseases. But do you think that they're going to care enough about us and do that and lose all of the money that they are used to having? You think they're going to just walk away from that? This is infrastructure that we are talking about. Our society is based on oil, coal. Do you really think that they're going to say, okay, yes, I'm going to lay down all of the generations that we've had all of this money and influence and power, and I'm just going to lay all of that down so that we can have free energy and everyone can power their homes with free energy. We can power the cars with no gas and just free energy. They're not going to do that. That's why people have lost their lives. Like people that know about these secrets and have been trying to expose. Some of these people have lost their lives behind it because these people not playing. They're not going to just roll over and let somebody take their money. It's just not going to go down like that. So this is what I'm saying. Like, do people really think that knowing whether there are aliens or not, that it's going to change anything for us? No, because it means that it's going to change it's going to change everything. It's going to make everybody, you think the Vatican, all that control that they have over the Catholics, the religion, do you really think that they want it to be known that there's possible aliens and that they've been communicating with these aliens since way, way back, and that there's secrets that's held in the Vatican as it pertains to UAPs? It's a lot at stake. People don't realize that. So I think we better be careful what we're asking for. And that brings me to the whole situation with MK Ultra. Now, what the CIA and what the government historically has done to its citizens and to its people. If they were able to do this with MK Ultra, it's not so far-fetched that they could possibly have some type of program where they are staging abductions, making people think that there are aliens and it's really the government. It's really them coming in people's homes and fake abducting them and making them have these abduction experiences so that we're scared of these so-called, the alien theory and all of this. So when they stage the whole disclosure thing, we're so, scared, and we're so shocked about, we want everything to go back to normal. So we're willing to do whatever. So then they can just introduce and put whatever they want to put in front of us, and we're going to go along with it because we don't want, we're scared. You understand what I'm saying? You can get people to do a lot of things when they're scared. Okay. So I want to take a look at, for those that don't know what MK Ultra is, I want you guys to take a look at this video. Because like I said, the government has, in the past, they have done experiments on their people. So, it wouldn't surprise me if this whole alien situation, if it wasn't true, what Stephen Greer is saying.
I was given a glass of Kool-Aid, and so were the other children. This Kool-Aid was spiked with LSD. It was horrible.
In the early days of the Cold War, the CIA ordered the creation of a secret program intended to find ways of mind control. They funded an army of psychiatric institutions across the United States and Canada to perform experiments on unsuspecting patients using psychedelic drugs, sensory deprivation, electroshock treatment, and more. The program was known by its codename, MK Ultra. At the end of the Korean War, a number of freed American POWs came home seemingly brainwashed and espousing communist propaganda. American officials suspected that the soldiers had been subjected to what they thought were new communist mind control techniques. Alarmed by the situation, the newly formed CIA allocated $25 million for psychiatric experiments on human beings.
It was the most secret program ever conducted by the CIA in the United States. Patients at psychiatric hospitals, prisoners in federal institutions, and even people in the public were given drugs without their awareness or consent and experimented upon.
Initial projects within MK Ultra included Operation Midnight Climax.
They established what were called safe houses, where prostitutes would lure men to these apartments, and then once the men were in the apartments, they were dosed with LSD, and then they were basically studied by CIA scientists, usually behind a two-way mirror.
Another common practice was the hosting and observing of LSD-induced parties with live music. These parties were called acid tests, and the culture that grew out of them played a key role in the development of the hippie and psychedelic movements a few years later. However, some of the most damaging experiments occurred at the Allen Memorial Institute in Montreal, Canada. There, under the direction of infamous Scottish-American psychiatrist Dr. Ian Cameron, unsuspecting patients, many of whom had common ailments such as postpartum depression, were experimented on with aggressive drug cocktails and extreme techniques.
My father was a victim of Dr. Cameron. He was a 27-year-old, healthy skier, canoeer, very athletic, and he had asthma. They told him if he went to the Allen Memorial, they could cure his asthma.
My father, Charles, was a patient of Dr. Cameron's. He had a trigeminal neuralgia, it's called, where there's a pain in the temple that radiates into the jaw that apparently is excruciatingly painful. They told him that it was psychosomatic, which it's not, but in those days, what did they know? So they sent him to a shrink. This shrink that he went to was working with Cameron, although we didn't know. So he put my father right into the program.
I was having trouble with my parents. My father and my stepmother decided to put me in the Allen Memorial Institute. They had no idea what went on in there. I was 16 when I was there.
Dr. Cameron pursued a concept he called depatterning, which was meant to reduce patients to an infantile psychological state wherein doctors could take advantage of the person's cognitive vulnerability to attempt to rebuild their mind under the doctor's control. A popular method of choice to achieve this was called psychic driving.
The day that my father was brought to the hospital, they immediately put him on insulin, to put him into like an insulin coma. They took clips from the interview with the shrink and put it on tape to run a loop under his pillow while he was put into the sleep treatment.
He also was put in an insulin coma for 36 days with a recording beside him saying that your mother hates you over and over and over and over and over.
That was beside my bed constantly, repeatedly 250,000 and 500,000 times.
Another common method was the use of extreme Page Russell electroshock therapy.
Page Russell shock treatment is approximately 40 to 75 times the strength of a normal shock treatment. So it's really designed to wipe out the memory.
He received 54 high voltage shock treatments, followed by 54 grand mal seizures.
After 27 days of this, they said that they were discouraged because he still had ties to his former life, in that he was asking to see his wife. They decided to give him more Page Russell shock treatments and put him to sleep for another 30 days.
When patients were released from the Allen Memorial, they and their families' lives would never be the same again.
Well, there's a lot I could not remember after I got out of the Allen. When my family came, I was a zombie. I didn't even know who they were.
He never came out the same. He had a blank look in his eye. He didn't know who we were. He didn't know we were his daughters. He lost his job. We went into poverty after he came out.
He had said in his interview with the shrink that I was the apple of his eye. And after he came home, he started dating me not long after.
In 1973, the MKUltra program was terminated, and some of the evidence of his activities was systematically erased.
The whole thing was basically discovered because of a whistleblower named John Marks, who wrote the first book really about the program called The Search for the Manchurian Candidate. There were congressional hearings here in the United States in the mid-70s after it had been exposed. And during those hearings, the CIA finally admitted that this program existed. They admitted that it was probably not the right thing to do, but they feigned innocence.
Despite the congressional hearings and marginal interest in the subject in popular culture, most MKUltra survivors suffered in silence, taking their trauma with them to the grave. Today, having received no formal apology or compensation, the children of some survivors are pursuing a class action lawsuit against the institutions they deem responsible.
You know, the CIA knew that it was breaking, every moral, ethical, and legal law in the books to do these experiments.
They all were behind it. They all knew what they were doing, but they weren't doing it out of care or love. They were doing it out of military and political reasons.
I am on medication now because of what happened to me when I was 16. I have not had any compensation or apology. I want everyone to know in Canada what went on in that horrible, horrible hospital.
While historians and survivors have exposed MKUltra's exploits to the world, much remains unknown about its extent and wider impact. Given the highly sensitive nature of the program's activity, it is likely this will remain the case for years to come.
That is horrible. That is horrible. And, my whole thing is, so if they were willing to do that, the CIA, if they were willing to do that, what do you think?
Even if you don't know the history of the Allen Memorial Institute in Montreal, it looks like a natural setting for a movie.
Sorry. If they were willing to do that, what do you think? You think experiments just stop? You know what I'm saying? All for they want to try to see how, if they do this, what is this reaction? If you do this, what is the, you know what I mean? So, but if you know, recently the CIA is now being blamed for Malcolm X for his death. His daughters are suing the CIA, the government. They have Ben Crump behind the lawsuit because the CIA has been a part of a lot of detrimental experiments, deaths. They have, they have the blacklist that they created where they'll go after certain celebrities that might, especially back in the 60s and, back in the segregation. Billie Holiday was one that they did it to, where if you're like a political, like a agitator where maybe you had a message and it was stirring up folks, they would put you on this blacklist and they will go after you. They would discredit you, maybe plant drugs on you, so it's not, it's not far-fetched that, they would have now still be having some kind of experiment where they're staging alien abductions. I don't think that you know what I mean? Like, I don't think that it's too far-fetched, I could believe something like that. No, I think Area 51 and 52 are where they do experiments. I mean, there is a lot of secrets that has gone on in the military, in the government, but that MK Ultra, that was just horrible. I mean, look at those electric shock treatments. Like, how could you, as a doctor, or just because it's for military reasons or political reasons, how could you do people like that and just sit through it? I mean, seeing what it's doing to people and you just keep going, doing your job day in and day out. You're not stopping it. You're just keeping it going. I mean, it's insane. Like what this country, what the history that we have and what we still continue to allow to happen. So, what do you guys think? Do you guys think that these, so-called alien sightings, the whole orb that went in the water and then came up out the water and met something up in the sky, do you think that it's really actually aliens, or do you think it's the government? Stephen Greer seems to say in his Vlad interview that it is the government. Not all of it is true UFO sightings, that it is the government. They are trying to stage some type of, alien situation where everyone is, we see these aliens and now, there's just mass hysteria, and now all the countries are coming together instead of, war and all that. They're all coming together so that they can introduce a new world order. So you guys let me know what you think about that. Lily says it's the government. I mean, I'm kind of leaning towards that. I don't think we're alone in the universe. I do think that there could be other life forms. Okay. I do think that there are other, star systems that have different, could be different civilizations, could be different dimensions. I believe all of this could possibly be, right? But do I think that there are groups of aliens that want to take us out, or that want our planet, or that want to... I don't think so, because if they wanted to take our planet or destroy us, they would have done this by now. Supposedly, they have been in contact with humans since the beginning of time. So why would, if they wanted to do away with us, why would they be in communication all this time? Give technologies, because what I've been watching on this topic is that the government has contracts with these beings. They have agreed to allow these beings to live in the oceans, to live in Antarctica, to live in places where we would not suspect and we wouldn't see them. And they have contracts, with these beings that they can come and abduct some of us and do experiments on some of us, and trying to create this hybrid race and all of this. And the government knows about it. In exchange for technologies that they have, they've agreed to allow the aliens to do these experiments. That's what I've been, seeing on some of these channels. So I see that narrative, and then I see the government narrative. So it could either go, both ways. The Golden Child says, I think it's other life forms. Humans are so arrogant to think it's just us. Marquita says, right. I think it's a mix of both the government and aliens. Barbie says, they say the aliens give us a little technology every now and then in exchange for our government looking the other way when aliens experiment on us. Oh, you didn't get your alert? Well, we're here, girl. Michelle says, I definitely believe there are other beings sharing our planet with us. It could be, you know what I'm saying? We live, look how big the oceans. 5% have only been explored. Why? Why is that? And then the Bermuda Triangle. I really believe when people go missing in the Bermuda Triangle, it could be that contract that they have between the aliens. They could be, taking those people and doing the experiments on those people. Those people are never found again. We have proof that people have actually disappeared in the Bermuda Triangle. Okay, this isn't a rumor. This isn't just something that, oh, well, it could happen. No, there are actually people that have been just gone missing. There are ships, planes. There are people that have just a lot of people disappearing all at once. Okay, that's not just, it's sunk, the boat sunk, and then there's no evidence of the wreckage. They're just gone. What's the explanation for that, right? So I believe that, that could be, they could be being abducted by, aliens. Like I said, I don't think that they want to harm us. I don't think they want to kill us or do us, do away with us. But there is something going on, you just can't. And then the sightings where people see Bigfoot or they see mermaids or, shapeshifters they see. They say those are aliens. They aren't Bigfoot. These are creatures that they're actually seeing walking around. We just heard about creatures that were being sighted at a mall in Florida. You guys remember that? It was all over the Twitter, and it was all the cop cars and everything they called down there, and then it just disappeared from social media. Like they tried to say that, it was something going on, and they were like, well, why would they deploy all of these? I forget the lie or the excuse that they used, but they're like, why would they deploy all of these cops and the government and the military if it was just, I think they said it was rioters or it was something silly. But the people that were there said it was aliens. Then you remember the white lady that was on the plane and she saw a shapeshifter, a reptilian sitting next to her, and she said, that is not real. I don't know about you, but I'm telling you. You remember? And she was telling everybody to get off the plane because that thing she was sitting to was not real. Well, they then got her like months later to come back and say that she was upset about earphones or her AirPods or something. She was accusing the person of taking them. No. No, girl. You said, he is not real. That's what you said. I'm telling you, he's not real. You didn't say shit about no AirPods, okay? But and you think about it. Okay. When they did a whole expose on her coming back to the airport and traveling and going somewhere else, right? First off, how you know this lady was back there going somewhere? For to have the news down there reporting on her coming back to the airport to go somewhere else. No, that shit was staged because y'all wanted to take the focus off of this woman saying that she was sitting next to a reptilian. Like, who cares? Who was checking for her to know that she was going somewhere else on another trip? All right. So they interview her. Oh, this is so-and-so. This is her first time back at the airport since the incident. And so she was telling, oh, yeah, I was really upset about the earphones. And then she was trying to say, I was wrong and all this. No, ma'am. They made you say all that because you said you saw a reptilian, child. I figured she had been sipping that free wine we drink on the plane. She said that was a reptilian, okay? She saw it was not real. It was glitching, okay? But for real though, think about it. Okay, if she was having a mental breakdown, you know what I mean? Like, or if she was drunk, like Barbie said, why would a reporter, why would they find it necessary to have the news channel and a news reporter, news station, whatever, at the airport doing another story on her? Like, that doesn't make any sense. How did they know she was going somewhere again? She's not a celebrity. She's not anybody famous or a government official, like for anybody to know her schedule or be checking for her. You understand? So, you got like some of these things, y'all got to use common sense. Who cares that she's traveling? Anybody else that has a breakdown, do they go do a follow-up story to, show the world that she had she's back at the airport going on another trip? No. That's what they do. That's the propaganda, that's, the misinformation, trying to change the story and control the narrative. Okay. Michelle says, exactly. All right. Think about it. Doesn't make any sense. So you guys, what do you think about this? We are coming up on the end of our show. This is only going to be about an hour and a half. We're going to get in and get out. So you guys, let me know in the comments if you catch this replay, what do you guys think about this subject? Do you guys think that there are really aliens out here in our world? Do you really think that they are going down in the oceans, coming up, meeting each other in the air? Or do you think that it is the military? And when we think about these things, I want to challenge you. Is this something you really want to know? Think about it, guys. We have children. We have families. Is this something that you really want to be a thing? I don't want it to be aliens. I don't want it to change the way, we're living. I want to be able to grow my business. Okay. I want to be able to raise my children. I want to be able to watch my children have children, be a grandparent. I'm not ready for the apocalypse. I'm not ready for the end. I'm not ready. Okay. I don't want to battle aliens. I don't want none of that. Okay. I want to be able to just live comfortably, enjoy my childrens, enjoy their childrens, and just be able to, love one another and have a good life. I don't want to be worrying about no damn aliens. But some of y'all are so adventurous. Y'all want to see them. Y'all want to meet them. I see people on Twitter, see people on the internet talking about, come take me now. I'm sick of this world. If there's a meme, everybody's making fun of it. Y'all better be serious, because seriously, this situation is something that they can use to bring in this dark shit that they want to bring in. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't put it past them to use that. soul system for aliens. No. I would want to know if it can better my life. I don't want to know if they're going to make us worse off and I can't do nothing about it. That's what I'm saying. I agree with that. If it's going to better, if they're going to use it for good, if they're going to, really try to end poverty and homelessness and do better with the environment, because that could help change. Look at our weather. It is a clear sign that something's happening with our planet. I mean, it is November and I live on the East Coast. I don't remember when is the last time it snowed in the winter. I mean, snow, feet of snow. It's going into December right now, and people are still wearing shorts, okay? I live in New Jersey. It's supposed to be barking cold. I'm supposed to be able to go out there right now and blow breath and see frost. You know what I'm saying? I don't see any of that. There's still flowers on, blooming. Like, this is a sign that something's happening. And if there are technologies that they've been, getting from the aliens, or that they have reverse engineered, if they're going to use it to better our world, then I'm all for that. But something tells me that that's not what's going to happen. If you think about it, think about all of the industries that will be affected. Do you really think that they're going to do that? All of these greedy ass tycoons. Think about the oil, all those oil fields out in Texas and all places. Do you really think these billionaires, the ones over in Iraq, even them, the sheiks or whatever you call them, do you really think that they're going to get rid of their oil and billions of dollars for some free energy? That's not going to, they don't care. They're not the ones struggling. We're the ones that it would benefit. And as we know, the government doesn't care nothing about us. Michelle says, I love this type of conversation because my family thinks I'm crazy when I get to talking about stuff like this. Michelle, my family does too, child. My kids laugh at me all the time. But one thing I do, and I will caution everyone watching this, talk to your children. Because what we do now and what we prepare for now, it's going to shape their lives. They're the ones that are really going to see this, that are really going to be affected by this. I believe that, in our generation, we're going to see some things that we've never seen before. And it's going to be challenging. And we need to start talking to our kids, and we need to start preparing them, because to be honest with you, there's going to be a lot of stuff that we just aren't going to be able to do anything about. We are going to just have to go through it, and we're going to have to be strong. We're going to have to be honest with our kids and prepare them. Right now, everything's all about Diddy and Meg Thee Stallion's new song and new album, and Glorilla's new album. Everything's all about this, but we don't see what is really going on around us. Since when did the government hold hearings about UFOs, you guys? Wake up. They're preparing for something. Something is coming. And I'm telling you, it's not going to really be what we think. Peachy says, I cannot hear her. Is it my phone? Yeah, it's probably your phone because the volume is on. Barbie says, yeah, get the kids interested in space travel. I got to see a space shuttle that has been in space up close. Oh, you got to see that? Peachy P, I believe it's your volume because we're fine, babe. So yeah, everybody, listen, I think that, we need to start talking to our kids about things that matter and what is really going on around them, instead of, being so caught up in social media and Instagram and, entertainment. Even though, like I said, this show is for entertainment purposes, but at the same time, we are talking about serious topics. When did our government hold hearings about UAPs, UFOs? I mean, we just had a congresswoman ask, is there a hybrid breed program? Come on, you guys. They're preparing for something, and it's not going to be nice. It's not going to be pretty. Michelle says, I think some of these movies be putting the truth out in plain sight as well. Yep. And you know what? I tell my kids that all the time. We have this discussion all the time. They desensitize it through the movie. So that way, when something does go down, you could say that you already saw it. You know what I mean? Like, you're not as scared, or you're a little bit desensitized to it because you've seen it in movies. Okay? So yeah. And just think about it. Back in the time when it was World War I, World War II, Vietnam, you guys remember how theaters was actually used to show what was going on over in the war. They try to make it look like entertainment, try to, make people, let people see what was going on. But that way they weren't so, scared about it, or, they got to see what was going on so they can, kind of like sympathize with the war. It was a lot of propaganda done through the movies and Hollywood. So gotta think about that. Barbie says, yes, I did. I worked on aircraft when I was in the Air Force. One had to make an emergency stop when they were transporting it to Florida. I got to see it only 20 feet from me. Oh, wow, Barbie, that must have been exciting. Peachy P says, the reason I believe that aliens are here is because of the crash that happened last year in Las Vegas in the family's backyard. Yeah, you guys remember that? Remember the family that called into 911 and said that there were 10-foot creatures walking around in their backyard? And people thought that was a hoax. They were laughing. Everything is a meme. And it was all over social media like it was something to, like it was a funny matter. But you guys, we have to take this stuff serious. But this is what they want. Like, when they see that they put information out there and they put happenings and sightings and stuff out there and we do nothing about it, we laugh about it. Like that movie, Don't Look Up, where they're saying that it's a comet coming, an asteroid that's going to destroy the world. And people were still on social media. They were still living their lives like nothing was going on because they weren't talking about it on social media. The people didn't say it, then that must mean it's not really happening. Then the government was so arrogant to think that they could stop it, right? And everyone was depending on the government or the military. Oh, they're going to take care of it. Nobody's preparing. Nobody's caring. Everybody's just going on like business as usual. Okay, celebrities still coming forth talking about their lives, and everybody's worrying about this album and that album. That is actually what is happening right now. They are actually having hearings on aliens, and people are worried about Diddy. I'm doing a video about this. I've decided to have UAP Wednesday. I believe I'm the only one in my sector that is actually talking about this. Everybody is still beefing. Everybody's still doxing. Everybody's still doing the crazy shit that they do. And this type of stuff is going on right in front of them. And no one's stopping to think about, is this something that I should be worried about, concerned about, talking to my kids about, preparing for? What should I be doing about this? No, everything is business as usual. Doxing, dragging, still talking about me, worrying about me. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, none of this is going to matter if they, all they got to do is just turn off the switch and say, yep, we're ready for this agenda. And whatever agenda it is, whatever it is that they have planned, all they're going to do is just roll it out. And all we're going to do is just sit back and just go along for the ride, because what is it that we can really do about it? What can we really do to stop any of this? So knowledge is power. It is worth knowing so that we could be prepared. But what would we really be preparing? How? What would we really be doing? So again, do we really want to know? Should we make everything so readily available? Our enemies, because look, they watch social media, they watch YouTube. I'm pretty sure they're laughing at these hearings, and then to know that we have machines or, aircraft that is capable of doing this, that, and we're working with some type of new energy, free energy, they could be thinking about, how they can develop weapons from that. So if they don't have the access to these things, why would we want to make this information available? I think that if the government is protecting the information for those reasons, those are very good reasons to keep it under wraps. And we're pushing and pushing and pushing and wanting to know. And it's like, should we really be wanting to know? I'm so glad to see an African-American content creator talking about this. Thank you so much. You're welcome, PGP. Well, make sure you're here every Wednesday at 8:30ish, because this is going to be continued content every Wednesday here on the Sweet Pea Diaries. And with that, you guys, I'm going to take it out with our Soul Sister commercial. You guys, make sure you go on over there and check out our products. We have natural hair care products, okay? We sell tea rinses for dandruff, hair growth. We have wild hair growth oil. We have natural shampoo and conditioner. We have hair butters. So going over there to our site, soulsisterllc.com, and take a look around. Get your shopping done for your Christmas gifts, okay? And with that, I'm going to go. I'm going to go. I'm taking it out. Mwah. Bye, you guys. Thank you.
Sweet Pea's got a magic touch. From head to toe, she does so much. So sisters, wild hair growth, oh my. Alopecia, baldness, make goodbye. Thin edges, thinning hair. Dandruff's gone, no more despair. Healthy glow, skin so bright. Body butters, pure delight. Sister's Diary, feel the vibe. Luxurious love, come alive. Subscribe, like, comment, share. Treat yourself, show you care. Black on business, shine bright. Sweet Pea's magic, day and night. From wild hair growth to glowing skin. Oh, so Sister's Diary, let the love begin. Thin edges, thin hair. Dandruff's gone, no more despair. Healthy glow, skin so bright. Body butters, pure delight. Sister's Diary, feel the vibe. Luxurious love, come alive. Subscribe, like, comment, share. Treat yourself, show you care. Feel the luxury, smell the bliss. So Sister's Diary, can't resist. Join the journey, feel the vibe. Sweet Pea's magic, come alive. Sister's Diary, feel the vibe. Come alive, don't worry, feel the vibe. Oh, Sister's Diary, feel the vibe. Come alive, show you good is good life. Treat yourself, show you care.
But can we just talk about these? I just want to talk about these real quick. Can we talk about these twists? Can we talk about how thick your girl hair done got? Honey, can we talk about these? Yes. Look, y'all. Ooh, I just want to brag real quick. I forgot. Can we talk about this hair? This is Soul Sister, honey. This is what we are promoting, y'all. Get y'all some of this. Get y'all some of this. I love y'all. Bye.